Well, tell me a little bit. We're standing in front of this gorgeous pipe organ. Tell me some stuff about this pipe organ.
Well, it's a Barckhoff Church Organ Company, and they actually changed the name later after that when theaters started putting in organs. They changed their name just to the Organ Company. But at that time in 1905, this was been built in Penroy, Penroy, Pennsylvania. So this one was built there in 1905 and then brought down here and assembled. So you see it's been reworked 2 times, had a major renovation in 2006, but basically what you see there is the original. The pipe's original. Originally it had actually a hand bellows to power the air going through that, and it was literally human powered. Wow. There was a person behind there, and my grandmother played the organ here for a while, and she told me that there were sometimes they would have to hit the floor to wake the person up to start pushing the bellows.
Oh my gosh, hilarious.
And then it went to a water-powered motor when we had water system here. It's ironic, this church building was finished in 1905, and then our water system in Pittsburg was finished in 1905. So probably this is one of the first buildings in Pittsburg that had indoor plumbing at that time. So the organ that you see there, in back of that is actually some interesting things. You see all the stained glass windows around, but all of them have different themes. And there's actually stained glass windows back there that you will never see unless you go through a little cubicle there, a little cubby hole, that you can even see those. But basically everything's original. Even the chairs that you see back there, those are original chairs from 1905.
Well, Mayor, one of the super unique features of this church is these stained glass windows that you mentioned a little bit ago. Tell me a little bit about them, and maybe the one we got sitting in front of here.
Okay, well, each one of them back here, this is Charles and John Wesley up here that started Methodism. But these back here represent different aspects of biblical stories. This large one here, and each one of them was given and donated to the church. So these windows right here were assembled in St. Louis in between 1904 and 1905. And this particular one, it's kind of zero in on this one. This Reverend Morris, R.A. Morris, is the banker that helped get this church dedicated. If he had not stepped up and given half the money, and just another interesting fact, the church building that was built before this one, he did the same exact thing. They couldn't dedicate the church until it was paid off, and he, in that particular time, he paid the entire debt off himself. So he paid the debt off of 2 churches, or in this case, for this church, he paid half of it. So he also gave this enormous window here, and not as I will, but as thou wilt, is just one of the themes here. And there's stories, biblical stories about each one of these. If you'll notice how they had to trim this out, at the very top of it, there's a little bit of a gap there on the woodwork for it. And part of that is, as you can imagine, building these completely off-site and then having to get them to fit in here.
When they got here, it was like, whoops.
So it's still, don't want to take anything away from the craftsmanship, but it's just amazing. So these also have been protected from the elements on the outside and from vandalism. So on the outside of this are some panels, some translucent panels.
So how many total stained glass windows are in the church?
There's better than 20. John and Charles Wesley here, one of them, he's holding a hymnal, and then he's holding a Bible, and he was a hymn writer, and then but both of them together really started the Methodist Church, Methodism. So there's one that's behind that. This room over here to the right of the choir area and the pulpit area was the church office. That's where the pastor's office was before, it was moved to another location. So there's stained glass windows in there as well. And so there were Sunday school rooms in the rest of this building and even upstairs on the second floor. And those have, some of them have stained glass windows in them as well. So they're scattered around, and sometimes you just, you know, don't expect them to be there, especially, I mean, you could, probably a lot of people in this church that have been here for decades probably don't know about the stained glass windows that are behind that,
the organ.
The organ.
Yeah.
So you're getting a scoop here.
Yeah, there you go. As we conclude today's journey through the history of First United Methodist Church, we feel the pulse of the past through the stories of those who came before us. From the artistry of its stained glass to the melodies of the historic pipe organ, this church is a true treasure. Remember, history is a living tapestry that shapes our community today. Whether you're a lifelong resident or a newcomer, we invite you to uncover the rich narratives that make Pittsburg unique. So visit our Visit Pittsburg website for more information about First United Methodist Church, and check out the City of Pittsburg YouTube channel for more captivating stories that highlight our town's heart and soul. And one last shout out to Big Al's Barefoot Bay Resort and Marina. Until next time, let's continue to celebrate the people and places that make our community shine.